welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Ben.
Today we did two amazing Marvel comics for you today. We did Nightcrawler number 11 and Darth Vader number 1.
Woo!
Let's kick things off with Nightcrawler number 11, written by Chris Claremont with art by Todd Knock. Or Knock.
Knock. Not sure.
N-A-U-K? Got no idea. Knock.
Probably not.
Yeah. My jerseyness makes it Knock.
I wouldn't say Nauk.
Nauk. That's probably more.
Nauk.
Initial thoughts of Nightcrawler number 11?
Was not a huge fan. Yeah. Unenthused. He didn't bamf once in the book. I was very disappointed by that.
They explain why.
I know
Yeah, they explain why.
reason, and it's fine.
But the Bamfs can still Bamf.
I guess.
Which
I
makes
didn't
no
notice.
sense.
Did they bamf? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
He called them bamfs.
He called them Bamfs, and they Bamfed into the scene.
It's true.
Wow. Well, that's
And he was going to say, like, and they'll Bamf you out of here. He might have said teleported for Bamf.
Yeah. So,
He's
folks,
Bamf and Bamf. They're like Smurfs now.
Bamf.
It's a decent story, but at the same time, they're doing something that I really don't care about. Oh, look, it's a planet full of orphan kids that they have to save. It's a really, like, depressing story, but at the same time, like, well, we have to save all these kids. I'm not interested.
This for me is a classic spacefaring X-Men book. I'm like, why is this a Nightcrawler book? Why isn't this just an X-Men book? You know what? This is. I was not expecting to be as like nostalgically and excited as I was by this book. What do we think of the writing for the story?
I thought the writing was pretty decent, and by that, not the story necessarily,
Right.
but just the interactions between the characters.
Oh yeah, the dialogue was pretty fun.
They felt
great.
like X-Men.
Yeah.
It did.
Especially the
characters were
kids.
written well.
Even if you didn't even know who the hell they were.
Yeah.
Nope.
It got a little bit corny for me toward the end. I was like,
yeah.
all right,
Oh,
let's-
yeah.
can we not? It seemed like a good book for children.
Yeah, it was. This is like
I would recommend this for any kid.
it's a great all ages book, but in regular continuity.
Yeah, all ages if you're below 12.
Well,
I like Nightcrawler in this book. I think he's cool.
yeah, it was great. To see
And it's
Nightcrawler.
his title, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he was almost the
That's
main character in that book.
Yeah.
But he was really, he was in it a lot, and it was a lot of fun. It was fun to see Nightcrawler act like Nightcrawler. I was like, finally, like, yay, Nightcrawler doing his thing, swashbuckling, saving folks, cracking wise.
I like him swashbuckling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That
always
has to happen more.
It's got to be, yeah. That is definitive Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I liked the gimmick they had with the bids at the top
Yeah.
of the page and how it like changed as they like performed various feats.
Yeah, that was fun.
cool.
That was cool.
Reminded me very much of like the Mojo era. What do you think of the art for this book? Oh,
Sorry.
I kind of liked it. I thought it was a typical, I thought, like Alien book where there's just like the art's all about like the fantastic different types of creatures and making it look colorful and exciting to look at. I didn't think it was necessarily like super awesome art, but it was extremely interesting art.
yeah. I think it was perfect for the story. It's definitely appropriate for what we were reading.
Yeah.
Like, it was fun and whimsical, but also, like, competently drawn, and the characters were proportionate and, like, interesting to look at. And I love Knock's version of Nightcrawler. I mean, it's like, it's just basically Dave Cockram's version of Nightcrawler, but, like, that's the version I want to see, and so he looks great.
I didn't like the art because I hated the werewolves. I didn't like a lot of the other characters.
Werewolves!
Who are metallic wingless birds. They're not wolves.
And I'm pretty sure they're not bred for war. I'm pretty sure they've never seen action.
So that was bad. I didn't like the fact that the kids' heads started surrounding the page.
That
more
was what I was
and
going to
more.
complain about, was like framing the scene with all the children that are in peril.
All the orphans that are just like, oh no, and they're reacting.
Yeah,
I don't care
This
about
is
them.
so silly.
It really made it confusing and hard to read.
It was hard
At the
to
end, I was
follow.
like, can I just see what's happening, please? Can you get rid of this crap?
And this is dumb. I liked the fact that the bids were up top, and eventually the children's heads started obscuring the bids. I was like, hey, get those out of the way.
One thing I really liked is the adult versions of
those characters. I thought they were cool.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I want to see that.
yeah, I wish this book was about those
And the
adults
X-Men,
instead of stupid
and by the
kids.
way, the X-Men never shies away from taking like a teenage character and then just growing them up. Like having to go through a dimensional rift, and they go back and they're like adults. So, can we recommend Nightcrawler number 11 to our folks at home here?
No.
Sorry.
You know, if you like classic X-Men, if you want to see a swashbuckling Nightcrawler, if you love like spacefaring Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, like you're gonna really
it's
enjoy
like that.
this story, and you should go back and pick the rest of the
I
stuff.
would recommend it for Nightcrawler fans.
Oh,
for-
yeah,
for
Nightcrawler-
X-Men fans,
yep.
possibly.
I think so. I think if you were, especially X-Men,
Because there's
fans,
even melodrama in there with Nightcrawler and the chick.
Yep.
Who was,
Yeah.
I forget, blood something.
I don't remember.
Something blood.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
I also don't like the fact that the Bamfs were outside
We're still talking
the
about
page
fans.
one point.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh yeah, like you're not. Well, I wasn't sure if they were actual characters.
I thought they were helping the story,
Yeah.
like from a narrative
They're
perspective.
like, oh no, what's Nightcrawler gonna do?
And then they're in the story. I was like,
They're like
Nobody talks about it, but he calls them BAMs.
They're like the mice in Babe. 3 weeks later. Alright, let's get to the next
Yeah,
book.
let's move along.
And lastly, Darth Vader #1, written by Kieran Gillen with art by Adi Granov. This was a much celebrated, hugely popular book. It sold a lot of copies, a lot of pre-orders. This is, I mean, like it's part of the Star Wars Marvel dynasty now.
Right.
Like, initial thoughts of Darth Vader #1?
Well, Ben just.
Yeah, well, Ben thinks it
his.
sucks. I agree.
I also agree.
This
I
was,
not a fan of this book.
This was garbage. This was really bad.
I don't know if I'd say it was garbage.
Well, it was garbage.
Incredibly disappointing.
It was so disappointing for me. It became garbage.
It was really disappointing following the Star Wars #1 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is more like I assume Star Wars comics kind of were.
Yep.
Which is like
Which is like
dumb.
really like set in its own continuity, like really like beholden to what happened,
Yeah.
and really like self-referential. Okay, so there's a preview that came out of Darth Vader #1 where we just saw textless, by the way, of Jabba's palace, and then we saw like Vader killing a couple of Gamorrean guards, and then showing up on the floor of Jabba's palace. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
Jabba looked great. Vader looked awesome. We saw like all the favorite rogues from Jabba's palace that you remember from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So cool.
the first couple pages were great.
They
And
really
you know
did.
why? There's very little dialogue on them.
Yeah, that's true. That actually really is a good
Vader
point.
didn't say anything.
Yeah.
and it was great.
Yeah, it's true. I thought the art was initially awesome, and then
Serviceable.
it seemed like it just kept getting like it had like highs and lows,
Yeah.
like peaks and valleys. Lots of great moments, but then lots of like what? Like it really just like went into this weird like sloppy, almost like lazy or rushed moment. I don't know. I couldn't quite place like what had happened.
And he's supposed to look imposing, and sometimes he just looks lame.
just have an action figure and turn him and see how he would
just show
look.
it again.
Yeah,
The writing was really bad.
yeah. I
Like the
stand it.
the story was boring. The dialogue was fan fiction esque to the point where, except that even people who write fan fiction wouldn't let Vader sound quite so lame.
yeah.
You mean sort of emotional and emo?
Vader was very weird.
Yeah.
Like
And I don't mean emotional like he was showing emotions.
yeah,
Just
no,
like,
just like he was.
things affected him that shouldn't have.
Yeah, like he was jealous and like sad and like uncomfortable and lonely, and you're just like that. I get that, like it's a book about Vader, so
Right.
you're gonna see Vader behind the scenes,
Right. And he's
But
gonna-
Vader
But guess
behind the
what?
scenes,
He is cold and a badass.
Here's the thing. I don't know how you could write a Vader comic.
right?
And have it be good. Like really, it's really hard to do.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it.
No.
And they shouldn't have even
No.
bothered.
No.
Like, Vader works better if he's not saying that much.
Yep.
You're not seeing what he's thinking.
Or he's just being a character. He's being an antagonist.
Yes, and as an antagonist, he's perfect. As a protagonist, no.
No.
It doesn't work.
We don't care.
The other thing was, I was saying this to Tiffany earlier. I was like, this is basically just Shadows of the Empire with no Shizor. The idea of like the Emperor giving Vader the business and Vader feeling left out, and like
Yeah.
Vader and Emperor and Palpatine making deals with other characters
Yeah.
and leaving Vader out of it, and
Yep.
like, but like somehow they got Shadows right, but this is not going well.
The writing just... The dialogue between Vader and the Emperor just felt completely wrong.
my
Between
God,
Vader and
between-
Jabba felt totally wrong.
Yes.
He was saying things like he was talking too much, A.
Yep.
And B, the stuff he was saying was lame and
Oh
dumb.
my God, he was explaining things too much. He was saying things like, "Well, the Sith do this," and like,
Yeah.
"You're thinking of a Jedi, and you called me one, and actually I'm
Oh,
a Sith."
God.
How dare you?
And you're like, shut the fuck
He's
up.
explaining way more stuff than Vader would ever bother with.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the one from the movies
yeah,
that we had.
Vader would
Yeah.
lay down the law and then be like, "That's how it is.
Yeah.
deal with it."
Yeah, or he just wouldn't even bother to tell you
No.
what he's thinking. Like,
He'd just move on. He would just be
doesn't
like,
matter.
"We're doing this."
No, that's the thing. He would be like, "No, this is what's happening."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enough.
don't go into like weird amounts of detail
Yeah.
about like the mythology of Star Wars. Just don't do that.
No, nobody
It's
cares. Nobody wants that. Also, like
It doesn't make for a good comic.
You brought up that conversation between Palpatine and them
Yeah.
and Vader, where like Palpatine's like, "Oh, well, here's what I think," and I'm gonna... he's explaining things way too much.
Yeah.
And by the way, he looked weird in all of those scenes. The like rendering of Palpatine was like, who is?
Well, because what do you make him look like now? Because there's two completely different.
By the way,
appearances
you know what he
from-
did look like? The version that we saw in Darth Vader #1 looked to me like that repainted masterpiece that they ruined. That woman tried to repaint. Like that. It really, he looked like that.
What a random thing to remember. There's one thing I liked in this book, and that was, ironically, in that same discussion between Palpatine and Vader, where Palpatine references something from the first movie, which is that he got rid of the last...
The Senate, now he's like, what are we going to do now?
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's a cool, like, taking the fact that the Death Star was destroyed and saying, like, okay, what effect would this have on the Emperor's plans?
It's like, we got rid of the Senate, and the only reason we were ever going to be in power is because we had an instrument of death that would kill planets, and now we don't have one
That was
anymore.
gone. And that admiral who was in the boardroom, and
He was right.
He was right the whole time.
And we're going to promote him.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes,
I thought that was
that's
fun.
cool.
And they showed that scene so you knew who he was talking about, the guy, and I knew exactly who he was talking about.
Hey, do you like our shirts? They're pretty cool, right? You should go to tpublic.com/store/TV-little-house. Or just click the link in the description box down below to get some rad shirts we got here from our TeePublic store. We've also got more designs, but you can find all that out when you click the link in the description box down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, helps us out. Click the indentation here to see every episode of Off the Rack we've ever done, and we'll see you guys next week with an all-new Off the Rack. And don't forget to watch back issues next time.
Yep.
I think it's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
See ya.
I'm Sal.
I'm Ethan.
I'm Ben.
Yeah. This episode is a disaster.
Tiff, did you read the Vader #1?
I didn't get a chance to.
Close the door.
We're gonna ruin it.
I don't care. Salary told me for shit. I looked at the art.
Yep.
Oh, okay, never
Yep.
mind.
Yep. Unbelievable. After.
I know.
After Star Wars?
I'm excited about it. I don't want to go back and look.
Yeah.
Because it looked so badass from
Yeah,
that
those
photo.
previous pages, the first couple of pages where he's like in Jabba's palace were
I mean,
awesome.
I guess what
Yeah.
you should realize, if you look at this image, look at the Jawa. It is fucked up looking.
This one?
Yeah.
Where he's like, ooh!
Yeah.
Where he looks like a fucking batteries not included
But look
character.
at this fucking Gamorrean card!
Yeah.
Look at that fucking thing, that's perfect!
Or the guy, the Quill?
Whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah, look, Boba Fett's there. And Ass Mouth.
Ass face is there.
I also love Max Rebo.
Yeah.
And Forlom? What are you doing there?
IG-88's there.
You
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I
What?
think Dengar's there.
Where's Dengar?
Look, on the top left, over Max Rebo's right shoulder, you can see Ula.
Yeah. Wait, is that not Dengar behind?
Here. Where?
Right behind Vader's helmet.
No, that's Bosk.
Oh.
Behind Vader's helmet, yeah,
Is that Dengar?
it could be. It could be Dengar, but I don't know.
I don't know. His face looks a little alien.
I mean, Dengar is in Return of the Jedi. Yeah, in Jabba's palace.
But this is way before that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's a bounty hunter, and bounty hunters are in this.
Yeah, I mean, the Boba Fett's there.
Yeah, but like he has all the bounty hunters already collected.
And IG-88. Alright, let's get
Dude, all the bounty hunters always hang out at all the same places.
That's totally Dengar.
There's only like
Yeah.
5 bounty hunters band in the whole galaxy, and they're always together.
What?
They are not.
It's dumb.
They hate each other.
Nope.
Alright, thank you.
We are the Bounty Hunters 5. We are going to
can you
capture
come
you
here?
alive.
What?
Could you come here and... Oh, damn it, I've been recording the whole time.